Let's use the pliers, I guess.
Think so?
Yeah.
Ah, you took a tooth out? Ah, and it only does that?
It didn't even do much.
Ever since the explosive popularity of Slay the Spire, computerized collectible card games and roguelite elements have enjoyed a pretty happy marriage. We've seen tons of titles from mediocre to excellent take a shot at the card strategy crown, but what we haven't seen is a title that successfully weaves all of these elements into a point-and-click adventure.
That is, until we stumbled upon the subject of today's episode, Inscryption. The latest bizarre and addictive effort from the incredibly talented Daniel Mullins. This is no Hearthstone hopeful. Instead, Inscryption masterfully blends deck-building strategy, roguelike elements, and escape room puzzles and weaves them inside a mysterious meta-narrative. It provides a methodical approach to new mechanics and pacing that hooks players in while keeping them guessing. And it does all this with an unforgettable sense of style. Inscryption is so good, we even think it should be your game of the year, even if you don't normally go for card games.
It's good. Real good. So good that we want to slap 2021 Game of the Year right on the box. If there was a box. Wait, does it come in a box?
I remember boxes.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Hey, drop a comment if you remember boxes.
Do you remember when Thief, the Dark Project, came out, and it had this weird box that was like a trapezoid? Bring back the trapezoid box. Anyways, welcome to Two-Headed Hero, where we shuffle through the dark decks of our game libraries in order to deal you some hidden aces. My name is Boss Sauce.
And I'm Roland Coons, and together,
we are the Two-Headed Hero.
Inscryption dropped onto the vast reaches of the internet on October 19th, 2021. It's the latest and greatest effort from eccentric indie mastermind Daniel Mullins, whose previous releases include genre-bending, fourth-wall-breaking cult adventures like Pony Island and The Hex. Speaking of which, we also checked out The Hex 3 years ago during our unending backlog quest.
Link card here.
After a short title splash, you're face to face with the main menu where you slap that new game button and you get...
Huh. So, you can't pick new game, only continue? Right from the start, the game assumes that you're joining a story in progress. Inscryption's opening moments drop some subtle hints at the subversions to come, and this little detail delivers a simple message that the player should expect the unexpected. This looks like the right spot!
How did you find this D&D game in the first place, anyhow?
Well, I just searched Dungeon Master on Craigslist. A lot of people really like dungeons on there. Got a ton of DMs really quickly.
I don't think Dungeon Master means the same thing on Craigslist. The first little conversation with an orange-eyed Dungeon Master serves as the game tutorial. Players get a grip on the basics of card-to-card combat as the creepy cabin dweller talks to you in dubstep sounds. Sound effects are a mix of digital UI noises and Foley put through crunchy filters, and this minimalist take on audio serves Inscryption's atmosphere really well. The scarcity of sound effects makes each noise more impactful, and while there's only a couple music tracks, additional audio layers will sag in and flavor the boss encounters.
Audio crunch is meshed with an artfully dirty look. Something that kind of screams hand-carved roadside attraction filtered through grainy Quake engine software rendering. There's a tremendous amount of detail within the models and the tiny environment. Surprisingly, this was accomplished in part with a bunch of artfully repurposed public domain assets passed through some crunchy lo-fi horror filters. This game looks good, and it's definitely got its own thing going on. The 2D art shares many common threads with Mullins' previous efforts in The Hex, and this is most apparent in the card art.
The basic format of Inscryption starts you off with a 4-lane card battling game. The final objective is pretty simple. Pile damage on your opponent's side and tip the scales far enough to finish them off. Damage is represented by teeth, of course. But how do you do this damage? By playing creature cards.
Or pulling out your own teeth.
True.
Creatures are useful. They can attack, take hits for you, and sometimes even do something special like fly or transform or switch lanes by themselves. At the start of your turn, you can draw a card from either of two decks. The main deck, which holds your menagerie of special creatures, and the side deck, which holds squirrels.
Squirrels, you say? Yep, that's right. Since most attacking creatures and some special creatures require blood sacrifices of varying degrees, your army shall be built upon the backs of rodents. So you sacrifice your squirrels and you slap down your battling beasts and... What the hell, this one talks? Some of the creature cards have minds of their own, and these card conversations help drive the narrative forward by giving hints and encouragement, or sometimes they outright insult your plays and hairstyle.
When you've finished making moves, you like, subscribe, and touch the bell in order to end your turn and see if your carefully planned strategy pays off. Sounds simple, right? It is. But on top of this humble foundation, Inscryption goes out of its way to reveal a methodical, diabolical, and addictive gameplay loop.
After blood has been spilled and the scales have been tipped, you'll get a chance to feast your eyes on the overworld map, which I guess is a bit of an overworld path. The route northward randomizes with every new attempt, and you'll be able to change direction on occasion as your little wooden minifig makes its way deeper into realms unknown. Maps
are littered with little encounters that allow you to build up your deck. Careful decisions are required at every step, since even the decision to go left or right can have game-ending impact later down the path. Encounters like campfires, caves, or sacrificial altars can power up, remove, or even combine your cards. Sometimes you'll have the chance to pick up game-changing special items or invest in furs to trade in later.
A little bit of fur trading there, out on the path. Yeehaw!
Hee-haw!
The creepy dungeon master also swaps masks and mannerisms for different encounters, adding a spooky, intimate vibe to each ordeal.
Oh, hello.
Oh, no. Oh, you got a mask on.
Oh, boy. What a creep.
Reaching the apex of a map climaxes with a challenging boss fight, which are multi-phase ordeals with novel mechanics. These battles are a joy to experience and a source of frustration, which will often end your run, at which point the hermit behind the table will drag you into the back room by your hair and snap your death portrait to add to the card pool for your next attempt.
Early on, you'll be prompted to shine some more light on the table, and your shadowy captor will allow you to move around the confines of the cabin. Tiny as this wooden prison may be, it is filled with details. Clicking around on the curios does make some satisfying poke sounds, but it'll also sometimes reveal escape room style puzzles.
I like the ones where you slide fucking tiles around. Everyone loves those.
I love it when you shake out a boot and there's a whole jigsaw puzzle in there. Can't wait to put together a jigsaw puzzle.
Solving these can net your captive card player strategic hints, useful trinkets, or even new cards of both the passive and talkative variety. Unlocking these secrets often go hand in hand with new mechanics and challenges at the card table, which turn right back around and open up new puzzles in the escape room, inching you closer and closer to finding out why you're there, who your wild-eyed jailer is, and what you can do to escape. Nothing. You can do nothing to escape.
Unfortunately, the answers to these pressing questions lie deep within spoiler territory, so... Wait. What's this? Oh no. I'm picking up a lot of blips on the spoiler scanner. They found us, Captain!
There are too many! They're everywhere! We need evac now!
Oh no. It's too late!
It's me, the spoiler skeleton, and you're in my domain now, so you better spill the beans, or I'll unleash my army of spoiler squirrels on your crusty nerd asses. You'll be playing 52 pickup with your insides.
We're surrounded! We have 2 asses?
We have no choice. We need to use the nuclear option.
It was an honor serving with you. Inscryption is a tough game to talk about. It's not a question of whether we'll spoil parts of the game, but how much we can reveal without giving away all those goodies.
Seriously, we're about to drop some bombs here, so if you care at all about savoring the Inscryption experience yourself, and we highly recommend that you do, skip ahead to here.
Timestamp.
Hello, it's me, Timestamp.
We simply do not have enough room for another stupid character.
I'm a stamp that travels through time.
Wait for us in the van! The core loop continues for the next several hours, drip-feeding new mechanics and story breadcrumbs with every victory. Or, counterintuitively, sometimes it rewards your defeats. As the game itself increases in complexity, it's more and more clear that the stoat, the stink bug, and the stunted wolf have some sort of ulterior motive. They've got a big plan, and you're part of it whether you like it or not.
This raises another question of who you even are to earn such a position of importance. Why are you the missing puzzle piece of their plan? After a couple hours behind Inscryption's card table, it seems you've been placed in the role of Luke Carter. Carter is a collectible card gaming YouTuber, and his story is mostly told over footage from his camera. That blink and you'll miss it moment right at the beginning of the game? Yep, that's him.
While garage sale digging, Carter stumbles upon a discarded pack of playing cards for a discontinued game called, you guessed it, Inscryption. Clues hastily scribbled on one of the cards lead Luke to a buried floppy disk, which contains a forgotten copy of the only known computerized adaptation of Inscryption. Other found footage from Carter's camera documents his investigation into the game's mysterious origins and his own growing rift with reality as he continues to unravel the dark secrets hiding in the code.
After solving the appropriate puzzles and defeating the final boss at the end of the forest path, an encounter that is quite the mindfuck on its own, your reward is a Start Game button.
A Start Game button for the main menu.
So you're back here again after a short title splash. You're face to face with the main menu where you can actually slap that new game button and you get... what the fuck?
Art style shift.
The Act 2 style shift leans further into the card art style, while looking and sounding like a throwback to 1993 DOS games, complete with scan lines. The soundscape, while sparse other than the ever-present card table, dialogue chatter, and environment poke sounds, follows suit, with Act 1's ominous battle themes giving way to 8-bit renditions in Act 2.
Gameplay isn't left behind with this paradigm shift, and the simplistic yet effective 4-lane format expands with new resource mechanics as well as collectible and customizable deck building.
I think the cool part about it is that it sets up this really good card game, and then it doesn't throw it all in the trash, but it says like, okay, here's 3 other ways that it could have gone, now play with all of them. And then it narrows it down again. It like shows you everything in Act 2 so that it can explain what's happening to your deck in Act 3. This reveal is also the first major exposition dump that the game provides, but it's far from the final killer twist that Inscryption will throw your way. Secrets and Easter eggs abound in the game's nooks and crannies, and the whole deal is surrounded with a wealth of clever and hilarious writing.
Inscryption's narrative spills its tendrils into realms both real and virtual, and after finishing the final story sequence, it's worth checking out the wiki and subreddits dedicated to unraveling its secrets.
There's an entire ARG based around this game, with clues sprinkled through the game itself that threads itself through other websites, other games, and it's hard to even compare it to anything else.
It's like an X-Files episode about a conspiracy to cover up David Lynch playing Magic the Gathering for human souls as currency, as filmed by the Blair Witch Project. Is that even close? Can we make it a thing? David Lynch would probably be on board for this thing, just saying.
Oh God, it burns!
Alright, got rid of those spoilers.
Inscryption carefully deals out new gameplay dynamics one at a time until the intricate structure of its design is revealed, and periodically it knocks aside this house of cards only to build it back up again in strange and familiar ways. The format makes each play a weighty decision, and there's still enough freedom to pull out some satisfying cheesy strategies with some clever planning and the blessing of RNGesus on your side. By itself, this would be a competent and enjoyable time sink, but when meshed with a mysteriously compelling narrative and writing that contains equal parts clever humor and chilling horror, Inscryption becomes a one-of-a-kind experience.
Inscryption's incredibly tight core gameplay loop of play a quick match, choose an upgrade path, then pick a specific upgrade and repeat, is what puts it at the top of my list of the best games this year. The physicality of the tabletop feel caught my attention. The continual parade of surprises, both mechanical and meta-narrative, kept me hooked all the way through, and the fact that it's a single-player card game freed from the need for multiplayer balance encouraged me to gleefully break the rules again and again. What a fucking treat.
Roguelite card games don't normally catch my interest for more than a few minutes, either being too married to RNG or too clinical in presentation. And there's only 4 other deck builders I can say I've ever truly enjoyed. It's these ones. But I gotta say, Inscryption's clever mechanics, Masterful pacing and focus on the storytelling kicks it up to the pinnacle of the top 5. Upcoming roguelite DLCs will mean that future visits to Inscryption's universe are coming soon, and for once I'm actually looking forward to it. Daniel Mullins and his team have struck gold with this game, and it has rightfully earned its place at the forefront of my library. It deserves a place in yours.
So, what do you think, dear reader? Does Inscryption deserve heaps of praise? Yes! Yes, it does! Tell us that it does in the comments.
And again, if you want to help us on our backlog quest, give us a like and a sub and share these videos around the old internet so that Redditors can rip us apart for spoiling their game. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next Two-Headed Hero.
Leshy baby, I gotta say, you are an incredible DM.
The masks, the character voices, so good.
But next time we're gonna bring the snacks.